Today we are going to study the sixth part of the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So in this part, we are going to study a particular process that only taken place in the angiospermic plant, both the dicotyledon and monocotyledon. That is the double fertilization. So what is actually double fertilization? Double double means two. Fertilization means union of the male and female gamete. So at a time, two places fertilization taken place. Hence, it is known as the double fertilization. So what are the two places where double fertilization taken place? See, this is the pollen grain. The pollen grain is a pollen on the stigma. It is now present on the stigma. The stigma containing the sugary juice, and this sugary juice is absorbed by the pollen grains, and the intine, that is the inner wall, that become it grow and it passing out through the germ pore. The pollen grains have germ pore. Through the germ pore, the pollen tube or the inner intine is growing into pollen tube, and this pollen tube coming downward. When the pollen tube coming downward, the two cells present in the pollen grain, that is the germinative cell and tube cells, both will come downward. Okay, first the tube cell come downward because it is heavier than the germinal cells. Okay, so first tube cell, then coming the germinative cell. So when it moving downward, both it moving downward, the germinative cell, it divides by mitosis into two male gamete. So this is the two male gamete. So at this stage, it is known as the male gametophyte. So now male gametophyte is produced, and the tube cell present at the apex, it acting as a graviperception, or it helping to move downward by the gravity. So when this pollen tube is coming to, or it enter through the micropyle into the ovule. So here is the micropyle. Through the micropyle, it enter into the ovule. So when it enter into the ovule, the movement of this pollen tube is guided by the two synergid present on either side of the egg. See, this is the female gametophyte. The female gametophyte structure we already studied. The female gametophyte is a structure with 7 cell and 8 nucleus. Okay, these are the 3 nucleus. This is another 3 nucleus. It is total 6 and 2 more nucleus in the center. So total 8 nucleus, but only 7 cell present. First cell, second cell, third cell, fourth cell, fifth cell, sixth cell, and this is the largest cell, that is called central cell. Okay, so the 3 cells present at the micropylar end. This is the micropylar end. That is known as the egg apparatus. This egg apparatus having a central egg haploid, and on either side of the egg you can see what is synergid. Okay, and at the opposite or the chalacel end you can see 3 antipodals. These cells are haploid and it is known as antipodals. And 2 cell present in the 2 nuclei present, not a cell, nuclei present in the central cell, that is known as the polar nucleus, polar nuclei. Okay, this is the structure of the female gametophyte, and this is the male gametophyte. Okay, so now how fertilization taking place, see here. So when the pollen tube is coming to touch with the micropylar end, and this synergid, it guide, it helping to enter into the ovule. So it helping to enter into the ovule. So when it moving bend upward, one of the synergid helping to enter into the ovule, that synergid will break. So those synergid break and helping to enter the pollen tube inside, or the male gamete inside, that is known as the obliterate synergid. So synergid, two types. Synergids are two types. One of the synergid that will break first and helping to enter the gamete inside, male gamete inside, that is synergid, is known as the obliterate synergid. Obliterate, because obliterate means breaking, damaging, obliterate synergid. And another synergid, other synergid that is remaining as such, so that is known as a persistent synergid. Persistent for the short time only, not for long time. Persistent is synergid. So suppose this synergid, there are 2 synergid on either side of the egg. This synergid helping to enter the pollen tube inside, or the male gamete inside, then it will obliterate, then it is known as obliterate synergid, and this will remaining there, so it is known as the persistent synergid. Okay, so now the pollen tube is broken, and the tube nucleus and the content is released into the ovule, and both the male gamete also released into the ovule. These are the two male gamete. Out of the two male gamete, one male gamete that fuse with suppose this is the male gamete, one male gamete, and this is the another male gamete. Okay, this is another male gamete. So the first male gamete fuse with the egg and here forming the zygote. So once it fuse, it producing the zygote. So here forming zygote formation taken place. So here the zygote is formed. So this is the zygote. Okay, and this formation or this fusion of the one male gamete with the egg and forming the zygote, that is known as the syngamy. So that is the process of the syngamy. So first syngamy is taken place. Syngamy is the union of the one male gamete with one of the male gamete with the female gamete. Syngamy, it is known as a syngamy. So this is the first fertilization. Syngamy is the first fertilization. So one more fertilization taken place. Where actually I will explain that. So this is the first fertilization. Syngamy is the first fertilization. So this gamete is now it is not here. It is already fertilized with egg and formed a zygote. Now it is converting into zygote. A diploid zygote is formed. Okay. Then after that, the remaining one that fuse with the polar nuclei, and this polar nuclei will converting into a triploid structure. That triploid structure later converting into what is endosperm. Endosperm tyrone. So first fertilization. So second fertilization with the polar nuclei. Okay. So polar, that is known as the triple fusion. Why it is called a triple fusion? Because the three nuclei fusing with each other. So it is known as a triple fusion. Triple fusion. So this is the second fertilization. Second fertilization. Why it is called a triple fusion? Because there are two nuclei already there, that is a haploid, and one more nucleus that is a male gamete is fused. So three haploid nuclei fuse with each other and forming a triploid structure. So this converting into a triploid structure. So this is known as a triple fusion. So second fertilization is the triple fusion and first fertilization is called syngamy. So both the fertilization taken place at a time in the female gametophyte or the embryo sac. Hence this process is known as the double fertilization. So that is the double fertilization, and a double fertilization is the characteristic feature of the angiospermic plant, both the dicotyledon and monocotyledon plant. After the double fertilization, the central cell of the triple fusion becomes a primary endospermic cell. So this after the triple fusion, this entire cell, that is a triploid, that is converting into what is primary endospermic cell, PEC. PC means a primary endospermic cell. It is converting into primary endospermic cell. From the primary endospermic cell, the endosperm will form later. So that is the double fertilization. The zygote develop into later. The zygote will develop into embryo. Okay. So how the endosperm formation taken place that we are going to the next. So now the fertilization is over. So all the pre-fertilization event is now over. Then we are going to study the post-fertilization event. So what is the post-fertilization event? The post-fertilization event means the event taken place after the fertilization, that is known as the post-fertilization event. Okay. So let us study the post-fertilization event. So next part, that is we are moved to the last part, that is the post-fertilization event. So what are the different events present in the post-fertilization event? Events present in the post-fertilization event. Let us see what are the different events. Post-fertilization events. Post-fertilization events. The post-fertilization event include endosperm formation. See, endosperm formation. How to convert this primary endospermic cell into endosperm. So endosperm formation, endosperm development is one of the event in the post-fertilization events. Then another one is the embryo development. Already embryo is produced by the fertilization of the one male gamete with the egg. Here zygote is formed, and this zygote will converting into embryo. That is the embryo formation. So post-fertilization event also have embryo formation. Okay, endosperm formation, embryo formation, endosperm formation. endosperm formation and embryo formation are the major event in the post-fertilizational changes. Then another one is that maturation of the ovule. Ovule mature and this ovule is converting into seed. So this is another process involved in the post-fertilization event. And the fourth one, that is the ovary. Ovary is converting into fruit. So it is converting into fruit. This is the another event involved in the post-fertilization event. So post-fertilization event include four separate events, separate process, that is the endosperm formation, embryo formation, ovule converting into mature, ovule become mature and that converting into seed, ovary become mature, that converting into fruit. Okay. Then let us study each and every events separately. First, we are going to study the endosperm formation, how the endosperm will form. How the endosperm will form. So first event, that is the endosperm formation. So endosperm formation. Let us study the endosperm formation. The endosperm is forming from the primary endospermic cell. No doubt, primary endospermic cell is the endosperm formation. Endosperm formation. So now the plant having primary endospermic cell. So this is the, suppose this is the primary endospermic cell. This primary endospermic cell have the nucleus, okay, and this nucleus is a 3n condition nucleus. It is a triploid nucleus, okay. So first what happens, this nuclei divides continuously and producing number of the nucleus by mitosis, simple mitosis, okay. So this undergoing the mitosis, and after the mitosis it is producing number of the nucleus, and all the nucleus are the triploid condition. The nucleus will be triploid, so it is producing number of the nucleus. See here, these are the different nucleus. It is producing many nucleus. So and after the formation of the number of the nucleus, most of the angiospermic plant producing the endosperm by this method. So this method is known as the pre-nuclear endosperm formation. Pre-nuclear endosperm formation. Pre-nuclear endosperm formation. Endosperm formation. So this is the one method of the endosperm formation. Endosperm formation. Pre-nuclear endosperm formation. Then next, another type of endosperm formation is that it also found in the some of the angiospermic plant. Suppose this is the primary endospermic cell and this is the endosperm nucleus. It is a triploid. It divides, actually it divides two. Here it divides into two. So it divides into two. So after the division, you can see there are two nucleus. One nucleus here and the another one here. Then what happens? The cell also will divide and producing the two. Okay. Then what happens? This process repeat a number of times. This also divides and then cell divides. This also divides. Then cell divides at each and every time. The nucleus divide and the cytoplasm also divide. So this process is known as the cellular endospermic formation. cellular method. This is the cellular method. Okay. So in some places, some plants, very rare plants, what happens? First the nucleus divides. Sorry, first the nucleus divides into two, and the cell also divides into two. That means it is a cellular method. Then what happens? This nucleus divides a number of times and producing the number of the pre-nucleus. So this is known as the nuclear endosperm formation. Means both the cellular and the nuclear endosperm formation taken place in the one particular type of the plant, and this is known as the helobial method of the helobial. It is known as the helobial method. It is present only in the some particular plant, that is a Helobiaceae family, present in monocotyledon plant. So that is known as a helobial method. It is showing both the cellular and pre-endosperm nuclear division. Okay. So most common type is the pre-nuclear endosperm formation, that is explained in the NCERT textbook. Then what happens after the pre-nuclear endosperm? It will collect the cytoplasm and forming the cell. Then this also collecting the cytoplasm and forming the cell, and each one later converting into cell. Okay. So this nature you can see in the case of the coconut. In the case of the coconut, the water of the coconut water. So this coconut water coconut water. It is actually free endosperm. Water is a free endosperm, totally free endosperm. No cell is formed. Free endosperm. Free nuclear endosperm. Free nuclear endosperm. Pre-nuclear endosperm. What is a pre-nuclear endosperm? In the case of the coconut, you can see both the pre-nuclear endosperm and the cellular endosperm. The water present inside the coconut, that is a pre-nuclear endosperm. And the kernel of the coconut. Kernel means white colored that we using for the eating purpose. So the kernel, that is known as a kernel. So white colored kernel. This kernel is actually what is cellular endosperm. So both the cellular endosperm and the pre-nuclear endosperm you can see in the coconut. Cellular endosperm. Okay, so this is the cellular and the pre-nuclear endosperm is the most common type in the angiospermic plant. Okay, so depending upon the endosperm, so endosperm is formed either a cellular method or the pre-nuclear method or the heliobel method. The endosperm is formed. Then after the formation of the endosperm, based on the behavior of the endosperm, the seeds are two types. Seeds. Then seeds are two types. How the seeds divides based on the based on the behavior of the endosperm. Endosperm, how the endosperm is behaving, behavior of the endosperm, it is divides into two types. Based on the behavior of endosperm, the seeds are two types. So what are the two type of the seeds? Let us see that two type of seeds. One type of seed that is known as the non-endospermic seed. Non-endospermic seed. Non-endospermic. Non-endospermic. So what is actually the non-endospermic seed? Non-endospermic seed. So it is very clear from the word it explains the meaning non-endospermic seed. Non-endospermic and another seed is the endospermic seed. Endospermic seed. The difference between these two, during the embryo development, the endosperm completely utilized and there will be no endosperm remaining there. Such a type of the seed is known as a non-endospermic seed. So that's endospermic seed मध्ये endosperm नाही दिसणार. And in some other plants, the endosperm, little bit endosperm will use and the major portion of the endosperm will remaining there even after the formation of the seed. Even after the formation of the seed and fruits, the endosperm will remaining there. That is known as endospermic seed. Then what are the example for the non-endospermic seed? The non-endospermic seed have some examples, that is the groundnut. All the pea varieties are example for the non-endospermic seed. Groundnut, one of the example is groundnut. Generally, peas and beans are the example for the non-endospermic seed. Okay, groundnut, groundnut having a structure like this, and this part we actually eating, and this is the cotyledon. It is not endosperm. Okay, so endospermic seed example, that is a castor. Castor, it is a dicotyledon. Most of the endospermic seeds are the monocotyledon, but a castor is an endospermic seed with and a dicotyledon. So it is the most important for the NEET examination. Castor, it is an endospermic. Even though it is a dicotyledon, it is endospermic seed. Endospermic seed found in the monocot plant and a non-endospermic seed commonly found in the dicotyledon plant. Okay, so example for the monocotyledon plant, rice. So common example. Commonly, we take the example rice for the monocotyledon plant. Wheat is an example for the monocotyledon plant. Jowar is an example for the monocotyledon plant. All these are the endospermic seed. The rice we eating, that is actually endosperm. The wheat we eating, that is endosperm, and the jowar we eating, it is actually endosperm. So that is the depending on the behavior of the endosperm, the seeds are two types. That is the non-endospermic seed and endospermic seed. So now let us study the structure of the dicotyledon embryo and dicotyledon seed and monocotyledon seed. That is the now we are going to study the embryo. Okay. So next part embryo. So next embryo, that is endosperm formation. Now we are going to study the embryo formation. Embryo formation. So embryo development, actually embryo is developing from the zygote. Already zygote is formed in the female gametophyte. Here zygote is formed, and this zygote is actually 2n condition. So that is the zygote. From this zygote, what will form? The embryo will form. And here already endosperm is formed. This is the endosperm. It is formed from the triple nucleus, that is the primary endospermic nucleus, primary endospermic nucleus. So the first primary endospermic cell that is containing the nucleus, the triple nucleus, that is known as the primary endospermic nucleus, and this primary endospermic nucleus undergoing the mitosis and producing the endosperm. Okay, so little bit endosperm formed, then the zygote will develop into embryo. So the embryo cannot develop at the beginning because the embryo requiring food. So first the endosperm will form, a little endosperm will form. Then after formation of the little endosperm, the zygote will begins to develop into embryo. Okay, so after certain amount of the endosperm formed, the zygote begins to divide. Okay, so zygote undergoing division. The early stages of the development of this embryo is a common in both the dicotyledon and monocotyledon. So it is a common. Actually, suppose this is the zygote. The zygote divides vertically into two cells. Then it again divides vertically at right angles to each other, again produce two. Like that, it produces different. Actually, this is the method of the division in the case of the animals, but here that you studied in the embryology of the human embryology. But here I am going to explain little different. Actually, the zygote divides into two. So the one upper side and one lower side, the basal cells and apical cells, it is called. And then after that, these basal cells continuously divide and producing a suspensor. This is the basal cell. It is producing a suspensor. So this is the suspensor. So the suspensor, and this suspensor pushing the embryo deep into the endosperm, so that it absorbs the food very easily. So that it absorbing the food very easily, and the embryo developing further. Okay, so this happening, that is the embryo. Then after that, what happens? This again divides, and then it converting into this is the apical cells. It divides again and producing a structure with structure like this. So this is the suspensor, and here a globular structure will form. Globular structure with a number of the cells, and a globular structure will form. So embryo first converting, zygote first converting into a globular structure. This is known as the globular structure. Okay, globular structure. This is the globular form. After the globular structure, it further divides. So the suspensor also will elongate and pushing the embryo deeper into the endosperm to absorb maximum food. And this divides and it becomes the heart shaped. So this is the heart shape. Okay, so embryo is converting into heart shaped structure with a number of the cells. Then again, so this is the heart shaped structure. Again, it divides. Heart shaped structure. Again, it will divide. It cannot stop there. Mitosis continuously taken place, and then it converting into a structure like a horseshoe shaped structure. Horseshoe. So the foot of the horse, a small iron piece is fixing, that is known as a horseshoe, and it appearing like this. A structure like this. So this appearing like a horseshoe. In the horseshoe structure, this is the embryonal axis, the middle having the embryonal axis. In this embryonal axis, you can see cotyledon. This is the both are cotyledons, and you can see here this is the plumule. Here you can see the plumule, and here you can see the radicle and the plumule. So here the structure, it is a horseshoe shaped structure. In the horseshoe shaped structure, this is the cotyledon. So this is the dicotyledon. Two cotyledon present. So this is the dicotyledon. So this is the cotyledons, and this is the radicle producing later root, and this is the plumule. The plumule later will produce the shoot system. So plumule formed. So this is the embryo. So this is the formation of the embryo. First zygote. This is the zygote. The zygote divides into two. Transverse division. Then first one becomes the apical, another becomes the basal. The basal continuously divides and producing the suspensor. This is known as the suspensor. It is helping for the suspension. So it is known as the suspensor cell. And this is the globular. So it again divides a number of times and producing the globular structure. So in this way, the embryo formation is taken place. Okay. So that is the embryo formation. after the embryo formation, let us study a brief history, brief structure of the dicotyledon embryo, embryonal axis embryo, and the monocotyledon embryo. In the dicotyledon embryo, what is the structure of the dicotyledon embryo? In the dicotyledon embryo, a diagram given in the NCERT textbook, a little complicated. That is the monocotyledon structure and dicotyledon structure is given. So let us study the monocotyledon and the dicotyledon structure separately. So here already we taken the embryo. This is the embryo of the or the seed dicote embryo, and monocot embryo is actually seen here. Suppose this is the wheat. So this is the wheat seed. On the wheat seed, on one end here you can see the embryo. So this embryo, this is the embryonal axis, and this is the endosperm. The endosperm separated from the embryo by a layer that is known as the aleuron layer. So this is the aleuron layer. Aleuron layer. This is the endosperm. Okay, and here the radicle present, and this is the plumule. Okay, so plumule and radicle. The radicle. This is the plumule. So this is the plumule, and this is the radicle. Okay, and this radicle is covered with a separate layer, cellular layer, that is known as the coleorhiza. It is covered with coleorhiza, and the plumule is also covered with a layer that is known as the coleoptile. So the coleorhiza and the coleoptile. Okay, so this is the coleorhiza. The cover of the radicle is known as the coleorhiza. Coleorhiza, and this is known as the coleoptile. Coleoptile. So here the embryo is look like a shield, so it is known as a scutellum. This entire embryo, it is known as the scutellum. Scutellum. And coleorhiza and coleoptile. Coleoptile is a multicellular and embryonic in nature, but the coleorhiza is not embryonic in nature. There is a difference. Okay. So that is the embryo, dicotyledon embryo and monocotyledon embryo. Okay. Then next we are going to study the seeds and fruit that we can study in the next lecture. So thank you very much for today's lecture.